So another question we also get is, when should I start saving for retirement?
That is a really good point. Get in the habit of saving early, of course. I was just talking to some clients just the other day about that. They called up and said, should I be putting money into a Roth? What about my children? Should I put money into a Roth IRA for my children as well? And I think that's a really good idea to get in the habit of saving and saving early, because that power of compound interest really, really is so powerful.
And then we also have the myths that, if you start late, you won't have enough. And the reality is
not necessarily true.
So if you are very intentional, and yes, maybe you didn't start in your 20s and 30s, which would have been great if you did, but if you didn't and you're starting a little bit later, one of the things that's out there's a lot of catch-ups in your retirement plans if you have them.
Yes.
So there are ways to make that time up. It's not as beneficial as if you didn't start earlier, but just know that there are opportunities to save.
Yeah, the government gives us a lot of options to save for retirement. There are a lot of different vehicles. I mentioned the Roth IRA, which is a very powerful vehicle, but the traditional IRAs out there are a lot of qualified plans, such as 401ks, 403b plans, and they do have, like Catherine, like you mentioned, the catch-up contribution, so that you really can sock away a lot of money as you're gearing up towards that retirement phase of your career.
And it's important. I think we started with it a little earlier. Was if you are planning to retire at a certain age, and then you need the money to last, and if you only have Social Security and you don't have any other money to draw on, is that going to be enough for you to live and have your mortgage or your rents? And so I think that making sure that you have enough money set aside, and once again, it doesn't matter what age you are, going ahead and continuing to save.
But also getting in the habit at every age and stage of looking at what are my expenses, what's my and having a written working budget is really key to having a successful retirement part of your life. Because if you're not looking at where your money is going, it just goes where it wants to go.